Hello, everyone. This is Robin Carter with Robin's Creations out of Flower Mound, Texas, and I'm here today to share my alternates for the April 2022 paper pumpkin kit called Change is Beautiful. So let's get started with my alternates. And I'm so thankful for the paper pumpkin community and online resources because I had trouble coming up with alternates this month, unlike the previous month with the Beyond the Horizon kit. So I want to give credit where credit is due. And for this card, I got the inspiration from Creative Chelsea. So I'm not going to go over instructions. You can visit her website and check out how she did her butterflies with this two-tone. I really like that. And I just changed up a lot of the sentiments in this kit for cards that I needed. So I was out of baby cards, so I made this one a welcome baby. I did add my own cloud, and I matted it in balmy blue cardstock. And then, as usual, don't forget to stamp your envelope. So that's our first card that we did. And how we got that card was, this is the card base that comes in your kit. And so we just cut these in two to make two cards. So now I'm going to share with you what we did with the night sky kit. And put away this one. Okay, so for this kit, all we did was simply put some yellow behind the moon. I believe it's like a 2-inch circle. I used the elements in the kit. And then I was trying to decide what sentiment I liked with the sky. And so I just searched the website and found a sentiment that I liked. And I typed it up and printed it. So that's what we did for this card. Now, when you punch out your moon and star, save those because we will use them in another card. So that is that card. Okay, the third card we did, let me follow along with my PDF that I have for my customers. Again, a very basic card with the card base that was provided in your kit. So the card base, I've already cut it. It came like this. Let me get it right, going right. And then it was kind of a fun fold tri-card. So we just cut those pieces pretty much just inside and outside the score line to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 to create our own little flower base. And this one I did use a sentiment from the kit. So pretty much did it like I saw so many people do. So not a lot of hard stuff there. And I think I did, oh, I used a little flower on my envelope there and on the front corner to give a little interest for the recipient. So I'm going to stick this in with this one because it's one I need to finish. Okay, the next card base. So I had these two pieces left after I finished a card base. Let me just go ahead and get this out of the way. So I did something pretty simple. I just put them together and used a sentiment label and stamp from the kit. I trimmed it down to where it would fit on a mat. So I think that's about 1/4 of an inch off because this is a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 background. So this is probably 3 7/8 by 4, no, 3 7/8 by whatever the width. I didn't change the width. Okay, so I thought that was enough to show change is beautiful. So the flower is changing from that. However, I saw an alternate from Rachel at Stamp Your Heart Art Out. I always want to say heart. And she made a card like this, flipping it over. Now, I did make some changes, and I'll go over that with you. So she basically did this, but on a black card front. And again, I needed more baby cards. So I just took strips of Bermuda Bay for this one and put on the side of a white thick card base. Didn't trim that at all. So you can see her dimensions on her website because I want to give her credit for coming up with that idea. I really like this pattern. And then I did another one. Whoops, there's all my baby sentiments for it to finish later. I had some ombre paper left from a couple paper pumpkins ago, and it had the Bermuda Bay ombre paper. So I thought I would use some strips of it. So that's how I did the alternate. Used inspiration from Rachel Tesman and changed it up a little bit the way I wanted it to. Okay, so those are those 2 cards. So you can either make 3 of these or, gosh, I guess that'd be 6 of these, or do a combination of both, which is what most class participants did. So we made combinations of both. And this one, I had a rose from the Artistically Inked stamp set that I put on this envelope with this card. Okay. I must have messed up an envelope because I have an extra one here, but that's okay. Okay, on to the next card. Let me flip my page. I go in order of the PDF. So this card I really liked, and I think I saw it on Facebook, and I'm not sure who to give credit to. So if this was your design, please let me know, and I would love to give you credit as well. So this is the caterpillar card base, and I still have a couple of those. So it looks like this. And so we tore this off. I didn't tear it, I'm sorry. We cut this off right here, and I matted it in basic black cardstock, and it's also embossed with the painted texture embossing folder. I hope that shows up. This is. Now, you could put the caterpillar here as well and move the sentiment. The caterpillar wasn't my thing. Nothing against caterpillars because that's what the beautiful butterflies come from, but I like just the butterfly here. And so this is matted up on dimensionals. And so this is the back of this card base. So for this card, you use this, and I trimmed it down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then you used this flap here. So that is that card. And for the butterfly, I just glued the body and then curved the wings and put a small dimensional underneath the wings to help them have their height. And for the envelope, I did use the beautiful butterfly stamp that came in our kit in Melon Mambo. And I think you're wonderful. That sentiment came from the Special Moments Celebration Kit that was available January through February of 2022. So that's a great set to use on different cards for a long time. Okay, so then we have this left since we used these 2 pieces on the other card. So what I did was, and I'm not sure if I think I came up with this one on my own. So I took the same piece, the middle piece that was the caterpillar, and I embossed it again with the painted texture 3D embossing folder. And then we had these flowers to use because I didn't use them in my cards. So I put the flower on there. I matted this part in just some white cardstock. And then I had some DSP that was a host DSP that retired just recently that I thought went really well with this kit. So this is Granny Apple Green background. It's embossed with the Pretty Flowers embossing folder. So I matted the DSP with white, and then I matted this with white, and I stuck that up on dimensionals. In case there's a glare, let me take it out of its packaging. I put all my cards in these to help protect them from getting wet or anything. And I used the rhinestones that came in the kit as well. So that one's up on dimensionals, and again I used a sentiment from that Special Moment stamp set that I received with the last celebration offering. And again, I stamped the pretty little flowers on the envelope for the recipient. So that is that card. So the next card, we move on to the envelopes. And we always make alternates out of pretty envelopes and just use white envelopes for mailing. So this, I took an envelope. Let me see if I have one. I made a cutting guide for my recipients. And this just used, this is the top. So when you open up the envelope, you have a bottom. I don't think I have any more of the yellow. And so, let me get the measurements for this. So we trim the envelope piece to 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So the 4 1/4 is going this way. I matted it in white, put it on crushed curry cardstock that was 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Now, if you wanted to conserve cardstock, which a lot of us did, we took my 2-inch punch and punched a circle out of this crushed curry. I think I have a sample of that here. And this is what we used this circle for the moon that we did in the very first or second card with the night sky. So here's my pieces to complete my next one. So then we used the Biggest Wish stamp set, and we did the happy in crushed curry. And on this card, we used basic gray for the sentiment. On my next card, I wanted to just do it a little bit different, and so I'm going to use basic black. So just a little difference there. So that's what I'm going to do on that one. Okay. The next card, I used the pink envelope, the pink polka dot, and I think I came up with this one on my own. So again, this just uses the bottom of the envelope. Sorry, I didn't already have these out. So what I did was I took the bottom of the envelope and what I had left, I trimmed to 4 inches by half. So it was 4 inches this way, and whatever I had at the bottom of the envelope, I cut it in half. So then I also had some black and white GSP from that same pattern, party pattern, I believe was the name of the hostess paper that retired. And then I did use the new dies. Let me see if I can find those because I really like them. Here they are. It's new in the 2022-23 annual Stampin' Up! Catalog called the Stylus Shapes. And so we had stitched circles and squares and ovals a few years ago, and we were so sad when they retired. So it looks like they've brought back at least the circles and the squares, added some tags, and they're double stitched. So if you wanted to do a frame, you could, because it stitches on the inside and the outside of the circle. Don't know. Put my hand there, maybe you can see. Okay. So these are going to get a lot of use. I love basic labels like that we can create. Well, that's not going in there very well. Something is sticking. I will fuss with that later. I know what it is. It's my little magnet pieces. May have to trim those down here. Okay, so then I used a sentiment. I believe this was also from the Artistically Inked. Just some best wishes. And then I put some retired ribbon. Couldn't spit that out very well. For the to add some bling as well as some more rhinestone jewels. Oh, and then these are just strips of basic black cardstock that I put there just to separate the gap and to make it like a little frame. So that is that card. So with just the bottom of the envelope, you can make 3 of those cards. Okay, the next card. So I saw a lot of people using the butterfly stamp to stamp a background. So I wanted to use the watercolored envelope. Getting off screen, aren't I? I may have to move some stuff. So here's what we did on it. Again, we took the bottom flap of the envelope, and I'm sorry I don't have those. I guess I can show my PDF, my cut guide. Well, I didn't print that off, so I can't show that to you. But anyway, I did show them how I stamped the flowers, and I didn't cover up the whole thing, which I have a sample here. So I just alternated between Bermuda Bay and Granny Apple Green, and all you do is go around and turn your butterfly so they're not all going the same direction. And then I took half of the bottom flap, I matted it in white, and then also matted it in Bermuda Bay cardstock with that same ribbon. And I really like these cards. So those were fun to make, and I have several here that are already started. So that's those cards. And my next card, I took this inspiration from Creative Chelsea, and I didn't do anything different except the sentiments. So I may have cut it a little different and had a little gap. So check out her website for her alternates for this. It uses one of the watercolor envelopes and one of the pink, and you get 2 cards. And this is Granny Apple Green, Bermuda Bay, and Melon Mambo. So check out her website for directions on that. I don't want to say it was my idea and recreate it. You can check hers out. So we had lots of yellow envelope left. And so actually the whole front side, the piece I showed you. So this is the top. So I wanted to use these again. So I cut this to, let me get a ruler. I didn't put this on the PDF, so I'm having to remeasure everything. 4 by 2.75. And so you can get 2 out of just one of the envelope fronts. If you cut it at 4 and then 2 and 7.5. And then I matted it on white, and then I put it on a piece of crushed curry that I cut with the contour scallop dies, the largest one of that. Now on this one, I popped up the center and not my label, but on my next one, I'm gonna just pop up the label and do the other flat, because when I tie my twine around it, it kind of bumps the top half of it. And I think it would look better just to pop that whole label up. And that is from the Tailored Tags dies. So I really like those. I love all the stitching. You'll notice that just about any die that has stitching, I add it to my wish list, and it's eventually added to my stash. So that is my alternates that we made with the April paper pumpkin kit. Again, I try not to make as many cards, but this one still made 30 something. When you go to use the envelopes that you get 3 of, then it can make quite a few. So I think I gave the option to not make so many and just use the envelopes as actual envelopes. So wanted to highlight that I will be doing the Celebrating in Color paper pumpkin kit that just got billed yesterday. And check out the promotion that's coming up for June. I'll put information for that on my website with the flyers promoting it. I believe it has to do something with berries, and it's going to come with a cute little sack. So the subscription period for it started yesterday, and it'll go through June 10th. So don't miss the June kit and subscribe. I will have a link if you do not have a demonstrator and would like to subscribe through me. I will have a link in the description box below of how to start your paper pumpkin subscription with me as your demonstrator. I would love to help you out with that. So I will also have my hostess code for May in there that you can purchase coordinating products to go with this kit to expand your kit more, such as the cardstock. There's ribbon, there's DSP, which is designer series paper. There are blends for coloring and everything else. So I'm looking forward to seeing what is in this kit. I know there's supposed to be, I think, 2 cards featuring each color. So that's going to be exciting to play with those. So until my next video, I hope you're having a great day. And I do hope to play with some of my new goodies from the annual catalog. Just been busy doing paper pumpkin and haven't even had a chance to stamp with those yet. So maybe my next video will feature those. So thanks for watching me today. Thank you to all my subscribers. If you're new to my channel, I would really appreciate if you'd hit the subscribe button below. And you can also ring the bell to have notifications of when my next video is. So thank you for watching. Until the next video, have a great one.